Hey everyone, Shared Small Pets here. Still an emotional wreck, and it's only been a few more days. Woo! I'm just kidding. I'm filming this video right after the one you had just watched, or you watched on Tuesday or Monday or whatever the hell it got to you. But I need to film this now before I am too afraid to talk about it, and before I stop feeling what I'm feeling. Not the feeling of sadness or grief. That's never going to go away, especially for Robin. But we're going to talk about conflicting feelings when you're doing something for the betterment of your pet after a loss. Now, I have no idea what this title is going to be because that's too much of a mouthful. But I mentioned briefly in the last video that I didn't want Friar Tuck. And I look at him, and he's cute, and whatever. Like, he's a lunky, and he's solid silver. Of course he's cute. And he's a very friendly guinea pig, and I'm very lucky to have him, and I'm very grateful to Pierce. But there's not one bit of me that wants him in my house right now. That being said, I needed to bring him in. And... are you seriously chewing his hair? Oh god, we have another Gwen. But I needed to bring him in. Little John has literally never been by himself. He went from his mom and at 2 weeks came to Robin Hood. And for every day of his life, he's been with someone else. He's never spent a night away from Robin. He's never done anything without Robin. So the idea of making him go through any level of time by himself was unthinkable for me. And by unthinkable, I mean I really, really wanted him to be able to live by himself for the rest of his life. But I knew logically that that wasn't going to be something that I could do. That would be selfish of me. That would be me allowing myself to grieve the way I wanted to and not think of Little John. I'm not saying Little John would die of grief or whatever, but they're social animals, and LJ is not very good at stuff. He's a spud that needs another spud. And I've been thinking about this for a long time. Robin Hood's had been fighting heart failure for a very long time, over a year, almost a year and a half. And he was getting older, and so it was something that was in the back of my mind that, like, what do I do? What happens? And my first thought was, do I go with a spayed female? That way eventually she can just join whatever herd I have. And then my next thought was, or do I get a young boy? Kind of a situation like what Robin Hood and Little John had. And I didn't know what to do. And then I thought about it, and I was like, Lunkies are by far my most relaxed animals. And I need something relaxed to balance out Little John's neuroses, and his panic. He's the thing that defies the more you pet him and the more you spend time with him, the calmer he gets. He's never been calm. He's calm when he was with Robin, but that's it. So I didn't want him in a panic. And so I wasn't planning on going to the expo, but then there was some stuff some drama that happened. I do want to talk about the expo, but that's going to be for next week. There was some stuff that happened at the expo, and I wanted to go in to see if everything calmed down, because we'd been working really hard on it. And also, I needed a distraction. I couldn't be at my house. I couldn't even think about going into the pig room. I'd had Little John out of the pig room for most of the time, and I was like, I can't go in. So I went in, and told my friends were there. It's great having friends that are also in the small animal community, because they understand. It's not like all the people that either at work or whatever, who look at you like you're nuts when you're sobbing because it's a guinea pig. But basically, I talked to Pierce and I said, you know, like, I know that you've probably got a wait list. And he basically looked at me like I was an idiot and was like, the single boars are over there. Go look and see, basically. And then there was a solid silver. He was one of the older ones. And I said, isn't like, and then he's like, I'm pretty sure. He's like, there's the second one's over here. He's like, he's younger. He's like, so it might be better. And I was like, okay, like, sure. And it was this guy. He hadn't been named yet, and he was on the younger side. And I said, you know what? I said, well, we're coming into the city on Tuesday anyway, in case something doesn't work out. But I think I'd rather try it and be wrong than wait too long and have something else bad happen. Because at this point, it's like I couldn't lose LJ. So so I made the split-second decision to bring home this little man. We brought him home from the expo and basically set the pen up downstairs and put them together. They were together for about an hour down in the pen and nothing happened, so we brought them back upstairs, not to the cage, but just brought them up. And we watched a movie with them, basically on the couch together. Not really the typical bonding situation, I'm very well aware, but it's Little John. Things with him are a little different. They were fine. They did this the whole time. And see his nose perk up there? He thought there were snacks. And they've been like this ever since. Little John still stands up when you go into the room. The little guy comes over. He hasn't figured out that you stand up for treats yet. I guess he will. I still look at him and think, I wish you weren't here. But as you can see, he's comfortable. And Little John's also comfortable. So in that sense, I'm glad he's here. I'm glad. If it had to be someone else, I'm glad it's this little guy. Still wish it was Robin. But that's normal. And I guess this video, the point of it, is sometimes you gotta think. We always put our pets first, and sometimes even when we really, really, really don't want to, like when we need to grieve, that's when we do. That's when we really need to. That's when it's important. Because now that I know he's alright, now I can grieve. You know? Now I can miss him.